I said I had an illness, which was cancer. I did this out of desperation.
Nothing screams desperation more than faking illness for pity. This situation is totally baffling. Brittany Miller has hit international headlines in the past couple of weeks for her social media life that has now turned sour. And why did it go sour? Well, she lied about having cancer. She even set up fundraisers around it. The police found out, leading her to be criminally convicted. And then she never came out with the truth of it, laughing all the way to the bank with her millions of social media followers. And finally, when it all caught up with her and she did get exposed, her recent apology video could give crocodile tears a run for the money, blaming everyone but herself for the actions of what she did. And seriously, this scandal is insane. So hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. I'm Jake Baz, and today we're going to be looking at the fall off of an influencer on social media in a way that I have never seen before. Brittany Miller is a lifestyle influencer with 3.5 million followers and a massive presence, who has gone from a hero to a zero almost instantly. Due to the revelation that she's been hiding in the background that she faked having cancer, then got criminally convicted, all for the selfish attention of people around her. Brittany had over 10 years of silence from this initial scandal, which when she did actually post her apology video, it becomes equally as baffling as it is terrible the way she tries to run away out of it. There's so much to get through here, so if you enjoy, as always, please hit the like button and subscribe if you're not. It helps me out a lot, and I'd love to have you back so we can go through more social media weapons. So it's worth noting throughout this that this has been something that has been in the background, and people around her have been thinking that this has happened for years. It was very much an open social media secret that Brittany Miller had done this, and it's because she never came out and confronted it and addressed it. So if anything, despite all the comments, it was something that was in the back burner and hidden from everyone, and that got blown up just a couple of days ago, with a tabloid posting this saying, "Fake it till you make it, how online scammer Brittany Miller faked cancer to become top influencer as we reveal the truth behind her career." And I tell you what, it makes sense why she would hide all of these allegations and troubles when you actually go through all of this. In this article, there's numerous different allegations thrown out to her, but mainly the big one with cancer here, initially stating that as a small-time wannabe influencer, her small online community were then left shocked when she had claimed to have been diagnosed with stage 3 gastric cancer. So yeah, remember everyone, she's not only got cancer, she's got stage 3. It's a big distinction that you want when you're trying to get attention, right? Her friends rallied round her, a crowdfunding page was set up to help support her financially, and interest around her started growing. As you'll come to see later with her apology, despite her getting growth from this and it actually becoming a bit of a big thing, especially around her, she doesn't think that she did this remotely in a way to gain attention, which is a weird one, isn't it? But then just as fast as her cancer news started spreading, it then disappeared and wasn't mentioned again. No trace of her extraordinary lie could be found online. And it wasn't until 2020 when Brittany collaborated with a breast cancer awareness charity that her former best friend decided to speak out, revealing the whole thing had been a scam. Which retrospectively now is an absolute PR nightmare, innit? That you've gone to do this. If you know in your mind that you have not only fake cancer but also at this point being charged by the police for it, why would you even try and do a collaboration like that for attention on social media? Obviously, almost everyone has had someone in their life that has had these issues, and then quite a lot of people have had like family members that have died from cancer. So it's just so insensitive to go on your pedestal and do it for charity afterwards. Former friend saying, "Brittany lied to us all, not just her friends, but also her followers online. And the police have confirmed that Brittany was indeed convicted of her crime, fraud by false representation." And that for me is one of the most baffling things in this entire thing, is that she ended up getting criminally charged and somehow it never ended up leaking into other areas. And like I said, her friend went out and exposed her and said that she'd done this, but it got swept under the rug as well. It's just something that's been an open secret for years but never actually confirmed. As they've said, fraud by false representation. And you might be wondering, where does the fraud come into this? And actually it's to do with the GoFundMe, because yeah, of course, she not only went and faked cancer, but then she did a GoFundMe to try and get help for her condition. For her faking cancer in July 2020, she was given the conditional discharge for 12 months and was forced to pay compensation and costs to the CPS. And madly, her criminal record will no longer show up on basic checks, which has left her victims furious. Because she got discharged, that means that she doesn't have to have any form of criminal record. So this is genuinely swept under the rug. Hold on to this one as well for her apology coming up. Speaking anonymously, a former pal revealed that Brittany had in fact been one to set up the Just Giving page and had begged her friends to circulate it for her. And you need to think, when she's such a small creator at the time in 2017, could this definitely be a form to get attention on social media? Yeah, obviously it could be. If she's getting all her friends to circulate it and to spread the word and news, that is a terrible thing that is going to be shared amongst other family members and then into the wider circles. And when it's just such a detrimental disease as what is cancer, why would she do this in the first place? Because the begs for attention just keep going on, like here. Another friend recalled how Brittany would tell her that she was in hospital having treatment including radiotherapy and would guilt trip her when she wasn't available to hang out with her. A prime tactic in what someone would do who is desperate for attention, to say, well, I'm going through all of this struggle and problems, you need to help me. Bolstering her idea that, well, she actually did this just for attention on her own, but also it just shows how conniving she was in this entire thing. And it also brings down the facade of her, because what a lot of people really did think alike from her is her authenticity. And obviously, something like this really knocks your authenticity and thought throughout everything that you do on social media when you are like this. As I said, this came out a couple of days ago, and from there, she was just posting like there was no issues. Like, literally, like nothing had happened. That's it, officer, move on. But despite this, TikTok grabbed it and they kept working with it and knocking on her door, because no matter how many times you're going to post your kids as like a defense by just posting you doing stuff like it's normal, like nothing is going on around her, everything was shrinking. This has confirmed something that was long-standing for years, and obviously that's going to only gain traction, which led her to then have to do an apology. And there's so much weirdness in this and also just terribleness from her, and we really need to go through the highlights of this, well, the lowlights. Because of all things, I didn't expect her to explain that faking an illness was because of another illness.
Okay, so I never wanted to talk about this time in my life because it was a very difficult time for me, but I owe it to my followers and people that support me to tell you my truth. I also want to put a stop to the people that are twisting and exaggerating what actually happened.
So first off, she's actually gone and ran over herself within the first sentence. Brittany is saying there that she doesn't want to talk about this situation and she hasn't spoken about it because it was a hard time in her life. I don't think that really explains why someone wouldn't talk about this situation that was quite pivotal in the actual creation of her social media channels at all. It's something that a small collection of her followers will know what happened. She just went silent on it. She never mentioned it again and pretended like, well, that stage 3 cancer just disappeared without me having any forms of radiotherapy, chemotherapy, everything like that. She just expected people to move on. I don't understand why she's like, well, yeah, you deserve an apology and you deserve to be told the truth now. It's been 10 years. Oh yeah, I know. It's because she got caught.
So back in 2017, I had extremely bad mental health, and at the time I didn't realise how bad, but it was bad. I was depressed, I was lost, I was confused. I lost my partner, I lost my job, and there was lots of things in that year that led me to be mentally ill.
Here we go. The typical mental health defense. It is the ultimate defense of all defenses. I do want to preface this by saying that I am very much a mental health advocate. I'm someone who has ADHD, depression, anxiety. For years, I've had these issues. I've had it flare up in the past couple of weeks. But do you know what it doesn't do? You having any sort of mental health problems does not excuse the actions at all. And by Brittany coming out in this, by straight away saying I had really bad mental health at the time in 2017, so that explains everything, doesn't it? Not at all. It's not an excuse, and what it is giving is just pure excuse for the problems that you have caused by setting up a fundraiser, pretending you've got cancer, and just ignoring it. If you were an actual champion of people helping with mental health, you would have addressed this years ago and explained how low someone could go, and everyone would have respect for it, but she didn't.
I said something to someone within my immediate circle in confidence One stupid sentence that I deeply regret. I said I had an illness, which was cancer. I didn't do this for malicious intent or to scam people. I did this out of desperation.
You ever just pretend you've got cancer for desperation? Like, what? I'm sure with everyone watching at home, at least one person that they know has had, struggled, or passed away due to cancer. Realistically, it's just something that you just don't lie about, right? So her boiling it down to, oh, it wasn't actually meant to be a big thing. It was just one stupid sentence I said to my friend in confidence and it ended up spreading. Like, that is baffling. But then also with her saying that I don't want to scam people, that does go against what the people have been saying in The Sun, where one of her former friends said that, well, she had been setting up this GoFundMe by herself and then she had begged her friends to circulate it. If she has begged her friends to circulate it, that is crazy as well. Because that's not giving one stupid sentence, that's giving a very thought out and thorough thought plan of how to do this and how to spread that you are faking cancer.
I did it to keep the people close to me, to keep the people in my life close to me. I don't condone it.
That I don't condone faking cancer. I'm glad that she's come out and said that. That is a bit of a high horse to stand on. And I'm surprised that it's taken her 10 years to come out and say, well, I don't condone you faking cancer. That's crazy, isn't it?
I understand why I did it, and I've learned from my mistakes. This was not a long-running scam or a manipulative story like it's been made out to be. The people that I told then told a couple of others, and there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I knew about.
Now, the problem here is that this bit saying that, well, it just happened, it just managed to happen, and it wasn't me who created the just giving the GoFundMe, whatever. It goes against what her friend is saying, which then brings it into a bit of a problem, which, do you trust the anonymous person who has given this information to a newspaper, or do you actually think about and agree with the person that faked having cancer? Now, that's a hard thing to weigh up, but I would rather go with an anonymous source as opposed to someone who said that they faked cancer and then has kept it quiet for 10 years to help their PR.
And as soon as I saw there was donations, there was 2 donations, I had the page immediately shut down and I didn't take a penny from it. I've grown from this. I am working on being the best version of myself. It took me a long time to understand why I did it, and I forgive myself.
Well, I'm glad she can forgive herself. Well, that's fine then. We should all just drop it and move on. If it is true that, well, she did actually turn it off and not get anything from it, that's what confuses me a little bit, because then why would she get criminally charged and convicted when nothing's actually gone to her, when she's not received anything? Why would that happen? But I'll believe her on that sense. But isn't the entire point of an apology to actually apologise to people? And instead, so far, she's only talked about herself and said that she forgives herself for her bad mental health actions. I'm glad that she can do it, but how about everyone else?
And I forgive myself because I was mentally ill. I'm so deeply sorry to anyone that I've upset or triggered from saying what I said.
And that's why we're all here, because is she sorry for what she did? I don't think so. I don't believe it. From everything that you're going to see later, I just think it comes across as a bit weird. And I do really think it stinks of crocodile tears, because not only is this something that happened 10 years ago, but it's the way that she has done it and gone about it. It's been pushed under the rug. I've seen people saying that they've mentioned it in past and it's been blocked. Like, she's tried to hide it, and now that it's come out, she's crying and crying for this 6-minute video. And you really have to ask, is she crying because she is sorry or because she got found out?
I wasn't on social media at the time. This was years before I was even on social media. I didn't do this for likes or followers. And I know how horrible this disease is. And I know how much it affects people. So for that, I am so sorry.
Yeah, of course that she understands how the illness affects people, because she went and did a breast cancer awareness thing in 2020, 3 years after faking it. But then we also have yet another contradiction between the newspaper article and her, by her saying that this is something that has not been related to her social media whatsoever. Like, her page that was shared was on social media. This entire thing was social media driven as well. So it doesn't matter whether she had 100, 1,000, 1,000,000 followers. She has done this on social media. And if it's true that she only just wanted the attention from her friends and all of that, she wouldn't have shared it there, would she? Clearly, social media has always been something that's her passion, because she has got 3.5 million followers and that's all she does now. I just don't think she's being real with us at all.
After it all happened, a year later, I moved away from my hometown because I wanted to work on myself. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be mentally well again. I wanted to surround myself with people that were gonna help me.
This is a tangent in an apology video that I don't get. Why is she on about moving away to try and help her mental health? Like, she really wanted the attention from people to the point of faking cancer. Surely they're not bad people for you to move away a year later. I also think personally a bad mental health option would be moving to a city or town where you know absolutely nobody to try and up your mental health. That'll probably, for the majority of people, turn you away from it. This shroud of just mental health, it really does damage a lot of people, because yes, this can be a problem that you can have where people will get into these ruts and do it, but that doesn't matter, because what she did is what she did. She lied and she got convicted, and that is it. And irrespective of her mental health, she shouldn't have done it.
I got a job with a fundraising company, and that's how I met Ash. He helped me be well again. He helped me forgive myself. And although I am so emotional when I talk about this, I am mentally well again. And I'm so proud of where I've come from being in that dark place to now.
And I'm happy and glad for her that she has got from where she was to where she is now. But that's not an issue for this, is it? Like I said, this entire sort of apology has really just focused around her mental health and how she's doing and how she's feeling. And it's more about the actual people that you have caused problem with by lying about this. And also, I think you owe it to your followers, after 10 years of ignoring it, now it's finally come out of the woodwork, to address it and not really blame it on anything else. YouTuber apologies just really don't mix, do they?
And I'm here because I want to be an advocate for mental health. I want to help people because I know what it's like to be in a dark place, and I want to help people.
This is something that to me comes across as victim blaming. It really is. I know where I've come from, so I know where to go, and I just want to help people. Literally, my entire point of being on this is just to help people. Well, I haven't seen any of that in the past couple of months on her social media content. Why is she suddenly caring about mental health now? And it's because she's been caught out. And that's why this entire PR speech around mental health does come across as fake.
And I also just want to say a massive thank you to all the people out there that support me and still follow me when you didn't know my truth.
What is my truth? Because from this, all I've got is a couple of contradictions between a newspaper article, which then also doesn't really make sense, because she's saying her truth is because of her mental health. None of this to suggest that it wasn't malicious. I think that she did do it for attention, and she did it for attention on social media as well. I believe all of that. So I don't get why she's coming across like this, crying and saying that this is how it happened, when it doesn't look like it, does it? Especially with the patterns and themes that you'll see later.
If I could go back and change what I did, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was one stupid sentence that I said almost a decade ago, and I've learned so much from it. And I really love you so much.
So to her, all it boiled down to was, it was one stupid sentence. Let's just ignore her friends saying that, well, she was begging for it on social media for it to be shared. I just think it's so ignorant to the actual causes of what people go through, and it's really upsetting to people who have dealt with or gone through cancer. And in fact, any sort of mental health troubles, because it's just whittling it down and using it as an excuse, as opposed to actually explaining the actions and asking for an apology. To me, and I wonder what you lot think, it looks like she's just done this to be like, well, I'm sorry that I got caught out and I have to go and do this now. And the crying and the crocodile tears is because she might lose all of what she's built because of one stupid mistake she did years ago. The reactions on this were surprisingly relatively mixed, with quite a few people saying that she finally owned it, which I don't understand that at all. She's not really owned it, she's hidden it for 9 years and then come out and apologise, saying that it's all to do with her mental health, which quite a lot of people picked up on as well. I think if it was just a silly sentence, she wouldn't have hidden it for 9 years, let's be honest. But surprisingly, a lot of people just saying move on, and I don't get that as well. Like, it is a small thing in a sense of she just said she had something, and then she set up a GoFundMe, and then she tried to get money, and then it failed. But realistically, it's not only that, it's her entire character as a person. This makes her unreliable, it makes her a liar, and it makes her something that a lot of people think that she isn't. I mean, even Beacon's AI in their AI-generated summary said, Brittany Miller's success seems to stem from a knack to keep it real, sharing authentic moments that resonate with millions. Like, if that's what the summary is giving, it's showing that she's trying to be an authentic TikToker, and you can't be authentic when you faked cancer when you were younger. As I've said, a lot of people try to see her as authentic, but also it falls flat in a couple of issues that you've seen in the past. Things came to a head when the pal accused Brittany of stealing money from her grandma, and in the messages seen by Sun, someone appearing to be Brittany admits to taking the cash but blames it on strong medication that she was taking. So she's allegedly stolen money from her grandma, and she ignores that in her apology video, just mind you. I wonder why. She said she's addressed everything, but mainly one alleged thing that she has lied about looms in the air, and that is around a miscarriage that she had a while ago.
So most of you already know I had something called a miscarriage, which basically means I had a miscarriage without knowing. But I eventually went for a private scan and they told me that I miscarried 3.5 weeks ago, but it hadn't left my body.
As I said, this is all alleged, but if you look at the pattern of behaviour throughout Brittany, it is a bit of a weird one. Because as we've spoken about and shown, she would do these sort of things for attention, where she would fake having certain ailments and things like that. For women, miscarriages are more common than what a lot of men think, and it's also something that is just horrible, and I feel sorry for her if she has had it. But since day one, there was so many people that were piping up, because in 2023 when this happened, they were saying that, well, did it actually happen? Because it just seems odd. As I said, it was an underground thing of people knowing but not being able to prove that, well, she did fake having cancer, and it's something that she has done in the past, and as we said, hidden about doing it, all for attention. And well, the attention definitely got to her with this one. Ethically, she's just a little bit weird on this, like when she put up this post talking about how she had this phantom miscarriage and it was a really bad thing, to then in the comments of this post, which is on Facebook, to put, want to see more exclusive content and receive a badge, please do subscribe, thank you. What? You've just had a miscarriage and you're promoting in that post saying that you've had a miscarriage to go and follow your special account and get extra badges and pay money. What? I feel so bad. I've gone through such a terrible thing. Oh, by the way, please subscribe and please follow me. Does that not sound a little bit familiar to a certain cancer situation that we just heard about? But then also this post in August 2023, the way that she talked about it as well and did follow-ups and things like that, it really did blow her up on social media and give her the attention that I presume she's always craved. As you can see in social media, in August she spiked the amount of likes 3 times and the amount of followers literally by 4 times nearly. This situation was, although devastating if it is true, it did blow her up and she did use it a lot. And if this alleged thing is true that she did fake it, like I said, a lot of people have said it and it has been done in the past with her, so you would imagine she would do it again in some form. It's the perfect crime, because how are you able to prove or verify something like that without going in someone's medical records? All I'm saying is she benefited greatly from it, and it's really weird considering all of the circumstances, and especially when she has already hidden her faking having some illness and problems in the past and just never spoken about it again. I hope it isn't true, and also it's something that has been brought up in the past couple of days that she's just refused to acknowledge and talk about as well, which adds even more fuel to the fire, because if she's trying to address absolutely everything, why wouldn't she address that situation that people at the time were saying is a bit weird? But of course, with the rumour mill going around and around, it led to her have to check herself once again. With her apology video, a lot of people felt that it wasn't really an apology, so she had to follow up and release yet another one, of course. Every great apology video does that. And here we see a change of tone, and it seems like it's more aggravated if anything else. was.
So as you all know, 2 days ago, I came out and I spoke my truth. I addressed all the allegations that were made against me about something that happened in my life 9 years ago. But I still feel like there's unanswered questions and a few things that I want to clear up and get off my chest. So the first one being is the fact that it's still being portrayed as if I said what I said to scam and take money from people. This is not the case. There was no malicious intent into why I said what I said. I said it out of pure desperation to keep the people in my life close to me. It took me a long time to understand why I said what I said, and it was generally because I was mentally unwell.
Well, I'm glad she's sticking to the same story, that it is due purely because of her mental health, which does explain absolutely nothing. Saying that she didn't do it to scam people, fair enough, yeah, the fundraiser might not have been to scam people. I presume it wouldn't be, because it's a bit of a weird one to get through. But just doubling down on that, oh, it's all to do with my mental health, it's just mental health, mental health, mental health. It's just a mockery of actual mental health. And I do think it's the easiest get out clause of all time. I just don't know why she's only addressed this and not the other things.
Yes, there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I did know about, and I am guilty of that because I enabled it. So I am guilty. And I am so sorry for that. But as soon as there was donations made, I had the page immediately shut down because I didn't say what I said for that.
And yeah, fair enough again, but it doesn't explain why, as her friend has said in the news article, that she ended up going and saying to go and share it everywhere, and she's not brought that up at all. She's not mentioned it. Like, don't you think that's a bit of a pivotal thing in this entire situation, that you mentioned, like, sharing it about, which does add precedent to the idea that you were doing it for attention of not just your family, but other people as well?
The second thing being is the fact that people are saying that I forgive myself. I didn't say that I forgive myself in an arrogant way, and I didn't mean it in that way. Forgiving yourself is all part of the healing process, and it's all part of your healing journey. Letting go of past mistakes, understanding why you did it, stopping the self-punishment. It's all part of the process of healing.
Yet again, I think she's just playing up the mental health card and then trying to explain that this situation only exists because of that. It's nothing to do with the fact that she actually did it. And by her saying that she forgives herself so much, it does come across as arrogant. There's no other way you can paint that, and the reason why she's done that is because it helps her. It makes it more about her mental health and nothing to do with the actual actions of what she did. To say how much she says that she doesn't want an excuse to this, she's only bringing excuses to the table.
And the third thing being is the fact that people are saying I'm using mental health as an excuse. Mental health is not my excuse, but it's my reason. No one in their right frame of mind would come out and say that unless they had malicious intent.
But that's not true, is it? Like, loads of people do this for attention, just in general. And in a sane mind, yeah, nobody would do this, but that's what mental health is. I just feel like she's just trying to convolute it and just base it all on her mental health, and everyone should ignore the actions of what she did purely because of that. It's like doing a terrible crime and then claiming insanity. It doesn't mean that you didn't do the crime.
I said it because I wanted people around me. I said it for reasons that took me a long time to understand. No one mentally well would do that. When you feel that low, you go to these lengths. You act out of pure desperation.
Feels like a pity party, doesn't it? And the fact that she was crying in the first one and she was looking over to her notes every other second, to then this one, it seems more arrogant, it seems more point of fact, and it seems more composed. Yeah, that could be a good thing. But if you consider that after the original apology, she just started posting normally again, like nothing had happened. And she was doing that before the apology as well, just posting normally like nothing is going on. Please don't look at it. I'm kind of getting the feeling from this that she is doing this because she's getting so much backlash still, and she's addressed the matter, so it's arrogant in a way. It's like, well, I've done this, so you need to listen, right? I'm not speaking about this again, like she put in her actual description.
Since I posted that video, I've had so many messages of people telling me how much they're struggling with their mental health and that they understand why I did what I did because they're going through something similar. I feel so grateful that you feel like you can talk to me and tell me that, and I want to be there for you. I want to help you.
Like, what? Why has she become this mental health speaker overnight? Literally overnight? Or is it something to do with you faking cancer and then getting caught? Where's the years upon years of you talking about how you want to be an advocate for mental health and you want to look after people? Why is it only now when you're backed into a corner? I don't get it. To say she's speaking her truth, she's not being very truthful, is she? Because now it's like she's been caught doing something bad and suddenly she becomes a family man.
I've explained everything in the best way that I can to clear up any confusion or misinformation. 9 years ago, there wasn't a huge mental health awareness like there is today, and maybe I wouldn't have done what I did if there was. And all I can do now going forward is continue to move on with my life and continue to build a life that I am proud of. And I'm so, so grateful to have you all behind me. So thank you.
All I can do now is move on. Yeah, done it, said it. Done a video crying, that's enough. It's just baffling. I don't think that she did actually answer every question that's going on. She didn't mention about the miscarriage stuff, which was something that has been bubbling for ages as well. And the discourse around it is really weird because it's a split 50-50 really of people saying, yeah, you need to move on. It was so many years ago. People need to grow up of everything. Like, what? What do you mean people need to grow up? She faked having cancer for attention. It's really a bar that you don't go past. And it also could really put a dampener on her entire internet personality. She's meant to be authentic, and this just screams of inauthenticity. Got people say, I hear you always block people, because yep, she's got a bit of a track record for that. And overall, it seems comments are more so appreciative of what she's done by coming out and admitting it, but then everyone else on TikTok is saying, well, what are you doing? Like, no, this is unforgivable. And I agree with that. I don't think in the infancy of your influencer stage you can fake something so disgusting and then just hide it for 10 years. I feel that it's something that could have been overlooked and gone over if she'd have treated it in the right way, but she didn't. Now she's this big mental health influencer, even though before she was nothing like that. It just came to the point of her getting found out. I don't think anyone should move on because it affects a lot of people, cancer, and doing something like that, it hits really close to home, and she shows that she's really selfish and she didn't care at all at the time. And it doesn't matter whether or not she's got better with her mental health now and now she doesn't do that. There's still unanswered questions. There's still stuff that you need to go through, and I feel like it's just arrogant for her to do this and then cut it off and then just start posting again like it's absolutely normal. The internet never forgets, and the internet will not forget something like this when you hide it for 10 years. As always, if you enjoyed the vid, please do hit the like button and subscribe. I would love to see you back. I've been Jake Baz, but for now, I'll see you later. Take care.